how to turn it live on. Alright, it's me. We're going live. Rod Bots. You call me Rod B if you like. Flipside Bots. I'm gonna be doing a workout here while talking about some of the mistakes that King Von and Moe3 made. The reason why they got gunned down or whatever, what happened to them. But before this live, shoot, everybody wanna do all that. But before the live, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say everything is allegedly. Everything is alleged, and we're not gonna have any cursing, any profanity, and hold on. Sorry. Alright. See, we ain't got too many people in the live. Nobody in the live. Let me set mine up over here so I can see. It's kind of small, huh? All right. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I think I did. All right. See, my thing is with the King Von situation. I think that King Von messed up when he disowned his baby mama, the one from the military. Usually, some guys don't know when or know how to tell when they have a good woman or when they're in a good situation. Some things that I was watching just from his documentary and understanding people and understanding situations. He had a great woman, you know what I mean, right in front of him. And he chose to go the other way. When you turn your eye towards something that you have right in front of you, which is the ultimate goal, to have really a great family, that is the goal. The goal is to have a great family, to lead a hood or whatever the situation that you're in a bad situation, and graduate to something greater. Now, I seen where she stated that she hit him a lot through his jail time, and stuff like that, which means that he should have kept her around, because you usually don't get that from too many females. They usually, to be honest, they'll usually be the ones that put you there. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10. But it's a difference when a woman help you come from that situation rather than she put you in that situation. She got him out of that situation. She wasn't a bad looking female. She was in the military. So she was well structured. You know what I mean? So she probably had good manners. And he messed up with that situation. You know? One of the things that come back to bite you. But here, we're gonna start out with the workout. And we're gonna talk more details about the King Von situation. We're gonna start here. We gotta get all the way to 200 with the push-ups. So we're gonna do a workout here, a slight workout, working the backs. We're going up first, well, we're going back first, then we're going up with the arms in the back. And then we're gonna do back exercises with the dumbbells. And we're gonna do the push-ups. So we gotta get to 200 push-ups before we can end the whole exercise. It's gonna be kind of tough because I just got in from working, actually, to be honest. And we're gonna talk more about the King Von situation and then the Moe3. Ready? Going up with the back. We're gonna go 34 times each. One, I'm going up. Next, another thing about the King Von situation, King Von seemed to be very powerful to the, on how to, I don't want to say like, I don't want to discredit anybody, geniality, I want to say. And all this is alleged. When people say that people are smart dummies or something like that, but I don't want to discredit anybody really, but my thing is with that situation, and I know we all saw the video, but I seen it off firsthand when little Timmy got hit in the leg. My thing is, if you're gonna do something, you go ahead and do it. I think that situation could have been handled better, and King Von probably still could be here. Because he had a very good influence on a guy. And we're going to get more in depth with this guy, which I think allegedly stem back to a lot of other stuff. This guy, actually, he was King Von, right-hand man, and he was, to me, the guy was sturdy. Like, he was a good person. He was a very, very loyal person to him, for him to do that for him, because he ended up getting killed himself. But instead of hitting little Timmy, you know what I mean, in the leg, he should have went on ahead and offed him, leaked him out. That's what he should have did. He should have leaked him out, and he should have leaked the other guy out. You know what I mean? Because my thing is, if the old guy's gonna get off with self-defense, he could have got off with self-defense himself. And they could have got King Von to the hospital a little earlier, because you wouldn't have been worrying about any shooter. Maybe, perhaps, allegedly. You probably wouldn't have been worrying about a shooter. Or if you did worry about a shooter, you probably had to worry about the off-duty cop. And after you hit those two, only thing you had to do is surrender. Turn the gun upside down, put your hands up, and hope that he didn't shoot you right then. You know what I mean? He still probably would have got killed. You know, who knows? He probably would have got killed, but it wouldn't have made any difference because he's dead anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's already dead. So if you'd have got those two, boom, boom, maybe they could be right now battling it out. You know what I mean? No offense to Timmy and his partner and the boss man. No offense to you guys, but if you're gonna do the job, do the job. You know what I mean? I mean, like, if it was the, just for instance, you say if it was the president that got hit, ain't nobody around the president finna hit somebody in the leg and just, if you hit the president, they taking you out and all the ops that you brought with you. So it's kind of the same situation. They hit your partner, you take them out, because this is how loyal the guy is. And I don't know if everybody really understood what was going on, but they already had said in the clip, I'm not gonna say allegedly because I seen the clip of a guy, I'm not gonna say his name, it was right after the incident, the King Von incident. He already had said that everybody in that circle got paid $5,000 for that night. So we already know it was a payoff for that night. Everybody got paid $5,000. So even if the guy that was with King Von, who was very loyal, if he got $5,000 also, you already don't win against the code. So why hit him in the leg? You know what I mean? Go ahead and leak him out. Go ahead and leak his partner out. And you the one that could have got off on self-defense, probably. You know what I'm saying? If not, if they gonna kill you, they dead anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I would have took my chance, self-defense, because they weren't doing a hand-to-hand comeback at first. If they were doing hand-to-hand comeback, and then partner come sneaking with one, boom. So then you come back and hit partner, boom, and hit that partner, that's self-defense. You know what I'm saying? Because your partner didn't jump out with no thing. You know what I'm saying? He jumped out with ease. You feel me? So that's what happened with that situation. But you gotta have people around you that's smart. And I think, to me, that's a lot of that showed that that King Von is not a real leader, because you gotta have these things put into place. You gotta have these things implemented in these guys' brain to understand how to handle situational things. You know what I mean? And it's something I had forgot. I knew it was something I forgot. I knew something was up when I first seen that first video with King Von and his partner, Durkee. You know what I mean? Little. When I first seen that first video when they was on Breakfast Club, I knew he didn't have it in him to understand the game for real. You know what I mean? Because I felt like Dirk was trying to show him the way mentally, but he wasn't getting it. You know, he was shying away from the knowledge that Dirk was really trying to implement into him. Because Dirk came with a situation where it was like, he ain't with the bull job anymore. He trying to settle down with this one girl, you know, do this, you know, talking grown man talk. King Von was still on the little boy stuff. Hate to say it like that, I ain't got nothing against him, but it is what it is. He was still on the little boy stuff. He was talking about, oh, he about to hit the scene, he about to do this, and with this girl, he gonna do this. He put himself open to that. So if they did set him up with what he got set up with, the girl he got set up with, he made himself vulnerable for that position, because he told the whole world when he was just entering something that he didn't really understand that he's vulnerable. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. Just send them at me. I'm taking all bids. You know what I mean? Just send them at me. That's how he sounded. You know what I mean? To them, you know what I mean? People that are smart or higher ups, you need to be very disciplined when you get in a position like that. And his girlfriend from the military is, you know, she should be disciplined. If she from the military, she'll be more disciplined, more sound, understanding, and plus she helped you got to where you at, so she wouldn't be the type of person that'll take from you. You know what I mean? Don't too many guys get that opportunity, and that's where he messed up at. You know, to me, I know y'all see me a little tan. You know, I be in the sun all the time. Got that little tan going on. We're gonna complete the other lift right here. We're gonna get back to the King Von. Got more information. Let's go. Doing another 34. Going up high. really lost count. But back to the King Von situation. When I said we're gonna get more in depth with the guy who hit up little Timmy, who should have leaked him out, and leaked his partner out. You know what I mean? Because it was going down. You know, if you're gonna hit him, hit him. But my thing is, I really think this situation stemmed from this thing that everybody talking about. This alleged to me because I don't really look into these things like this because none of this stuff really be my business. But I'm gonna be honest, I went to school for criminal justice, and I understand a lot in detail when I see stuff when it comes out. So I don't be quick to just jump on stuff and just be like, oh, this right here, this right here. I wait till I get all the information, you know what I mean? Even though I could tell a lot of stuff when it first happened, but I wait till I gather all the information to just speak on one thing as a whole. And one thing that I did learn, that they say that this guy had went against the code or something in Atlanta. And I lived in Atlanta for a long time, so I know how it go. So he went against the code in Atlanta, saying that he had leaked out this guy. I don't know the guy's name, but y'all up to date on the stuff, so y'all probably know. So he leaked out this guy in Atlanta, right? So, which allegedly I think that it probably wasn't him. Because this guy that he got beside him is so loyal. If Phil hit Timmy, you know what I'm saying, he probably the one that leaked him out for him. And I think that's why, even though he got paid that $5,000 with the rest of the guys, he was still so loyal to King Von, because he probably was the one that did that deed for him. You see? That mean that they knew it came from King Von in his camp probably, but they didn't have enough evidence. And when they can't get down to the bottom of the evidence for sure, it kind of piss off the higher ups. When you want to move so slick and be so smooth, which another thing we're gonna talk about with Mo3. When you want to be so slick and so smooth, for they really can't grasp onto you, it really pisses them off. You know what I mean? I mean, they probably ain't gonna want you around for long, cause they don't need nobody that fucking, oh, excuse me for my language. Sorry. They don't need nobody messing up the order of operation. And if you guys are really good at math, you'll understand the order of operation. You gotta have everything set in stone. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, like, let's just say the order of operation with what do you call it? Accounting. Because if you mess up one little piece, you gotta start all the way back over. You know what I mean? So if you mess up the order of operation and you gotta start all the way back over, and you always a problem, you're messing up the flow, you're messing up the system. You know what I mean? The food chain. And everybody is part of this food chain. And when you're messing everybody else up, it's a problem. So he probably was forming his own thing. He probably just, knowing this guy allegedly, he probably was thinking more of just himself, you know, really just being selfish. Even though he had a good bond with the hood, you know what I mean, and people love him in the hood, he was messing up in a different aspect of his life, which is with the people who was feeding him. You know what I mean? Like they say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. He was biting the hand that fed him. You know what I mean? So with this guy that they had on leaked out, I don't know the guy's name, but supposedly from Atlanta, he went against the order of operation. And this is, to me, allegedly, this is what I think. See, because people are always saying like, oh, Boosie was there watching. No offense to you know, him, ain't got nothing against him. But they were saying that, oh, he was there watching and did this and all this other stuff. He probably had something to do with it. I don't think that way. I don't think he had anything to do with it, as in that aspect. I'm thinking that the same way that King Von went on his own and did his own thing without without nobody ordering him to do such thing, I think that they wanted Boosie to watch and see that next time you get out of line, because if you remember, these guys did this before King Von and see the only difference with these guys, it was only a handful of rappers to go around, and these guys they were very famous to the point that you can't extract these guys out because it wasn't enough talent to extract them out. So everybody know Boosie situation. You know, he was on the road and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like I think in today's time, I'm looking at it from this point. They wanted Boosie to watch from the standpoint of if it was today's time, this would be you. So don't never do that. Don't ever. You got off. You know what I mean? Cause King Von, I'm gonna be honest. King Von got off one time before the one he had just came off of. That was his third strike right there. You know what I mean? So I guess his first strike when the little girl, you know what I'm saying, being assistant to it, I guess. If not, if he wasn't, he assisted probably, you know what I mean, trying to get some get back or whatever, whatnot. And then he had one right after that. So that's 2 strikes. Put him in there for a little while, you know what I mean? Came back out, got a 3rd strike. Wanted Boosie to learn. That's all it was. That's why he probably watched the other situation too. But we ain't got the Moe3 situation yet. We're gonna explain that one too. But my thing is with this situation, I think the fight arises from he probably was appointed to, allegedly, he was probably appointed to fight this other guy. And he probably feared this other guy in some type of way, because I'm telling you, them ATL boys, they can get buck wild up there. You know what I mean? They can get buck wild up there. Don't get me wrong, because them boys can get buck wild. You know Holyfield from ATL. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you see what he did to Tyson. I'm just giving you an example. You know what I mean? So allegedly he probably didn't want to throw hands with this guy. You know what I mean? So probably backdoored him with Buddy, his right hand man, his loyalty right here, backdoored him. Got the same thing, came back towards him. You know what I mean? He probably could have avoided the whole situation. But most of these people end up doing it to themselves. Just like Jay-Z used to say in his song, I was gonna couple, but they did it to themselves. You know what I mean? It did it to itself. A lot of people don't want to accept that fact that they did it to itself. In a lot of ways. But my thing is, if he would have stayed with the girl, if he would have chose that off rip the right way, and he would have listened to Dirk in that interview when they was at the Breakfast Club, because people want to put stuff on Dirk too, but you can't control a man's choices. At the end of the day, he had his own choices. This is what people forget. He had his own choices. But Dirk was aware enough to try to help him by showing him. He was trying to be an example for this kid. But he had his own mind. He wanted to go his own way. Sometimes, we know how homeboys is sometimes. Homeboys want to look at you like, oh, you trying to show him up, or, do this. But honestly, he was trying to show him the right way. If you go back and look at that Breakfast Club interview when Von first came on the scene, when Dirk had got him out, he was trying to show him. You know what I mean? He can't tell that man like, nah, man, that ain't a real man. That's not a real man. A real man don't tell him, nah, man, don't do. You know what I mean? Only thing he can do is show him by example. And I think Dirk wanted to be like a CEO. To me, honestly, I think Dirk wanted King Von to be in the position that he is right now, and Dirk wanted to be the overseer, be a CEO type. I think Dirk really wanted to lay back and really like just manage. You know what I mean? But see, y'all remember that saying? And the higher ups probably, ain't no problem. They definitely probably go by this rule. He came with you. So now he got to take over that role. That same role, that very role that King Von's supposed to be in, and he messed it up. not only for him, but for his homeboys, his team, his family. You know what I mean? When they say he came with you, either you gonna go with him, or you gonna have to finish this job up. At the end of the day, you gonna have to finish this job. You know, that's just how it goes sometimes. But got this other set, about to get in, get these push-ups. Knocking out 50 real quick. Quick 50. Oh yeah. But King Von situation, way more detrimental to himself than anybody else. All right. See if we're done with that situation. Whew. Trying to lose all that tummy, baby. We're gonna go with dumbbells back. I think the King Von situation again. Make sure I'm done with the King Von. Move to the Moe3. Deuce. All right. I think that does it for the King Von situation. Yeah. I think that does for his situation. Yeah. But yeah, just to reflect off some of that. So I'm just gonna veer off a little bit because to me it's a difference. You know, when you go out of order and you actually commit something and you trying to. Because we seen Youngboy was trying to commit something, but they caught him before it happened. Same thing that kind of like happened with T.I. situation. You know what I'm saying? And my boy Wayne. I love both of those guys. I love their music. Well, so, you know, when they got caught with their situation before it happened, you know what I mean? So that's why this guy got jail time and probably not off, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because they caught him before he could actually inflict that on anybody. So you can kind of compare those two, you know what I mean? Because you could say that the same thing happened with those guys. They got jail time instead of, you know, often, you know what I mean? But your boy Boosie, they was looking at giving him the death penalty. So he did the same thing. But I was saying the same thing about Boosie's situation when Boosie did that too, back then. I said that he leaked out the wrong guy. He went outside the order of operation. You know what I mean? He went outside and did his own thing. You know, stuff happen like that when people get in their feelings when they got money. You know what I mean? People got large amounts of money that do anything because they feel empowered. They feel like, oh, they can do this and do this. But then they'll let you know that, hey, you ain't it. You ain't the one that run the show. They run the show. But I got homeboys, and I reflect on that. You know what I mean? In a minute. I'm saying, I gotta get up. I gotta at least get to the hunt done real quick. Feel more about my exercise. Wrong one. Ready? But this Moe3 situation, I don't even know if I really want to do the Moe3 situation because it might get real sensitive. I ain't trying to rub no skin. Oh, this is allegedly we are. Sorry about that. Somehow my Wi-Fi froze up. See, that made me think that I really don't need to talk about this situation. Cause me just saying that means that I'll probably say too much. Hold on, let me check the Wi-Fi. Shit. Run open the fuckery. Excuse me. Help me, mommy. Help. Help me, mommy. Hey. Alright. I'm gonna try not to touch that part. Because I did put in my thing, King Von and Moe3. So I'm trying not to touch the part where I think why my Wi-Fi just went out. Alright, so I'm gonna start off like this. Growing up, I had a friend. Some people in my hometown may understand, they may know, you know what I mean? They may know where I'm coming from. But I had a friend in my hometown. His name was Brandon Blake, right? He was part of a gang. And you know, the neighborhood I grew up in, it was part of a gang, you know, and all that type of stuff. But me, I never represented anything because I was the type of person like I'm gonna wear what color I want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that stuff. You know, whatever I buy, I'm putting on. You know what I mean? Everybody, don't wear it. You from, man, look here, man. I don't play no type of game. Whatever I buy, I'm putting on. You know what I'm saying? If I'm cool with that person, I'm just cool with that person. I'm cool with it, I'm cool with that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm respecting everybody till I'm disrespecting. That type of thing. You know, so. All right. So this guy, he was new, actually. Brandon Blake he was new to the area. Some people may know what I'm talking about. And it was like middle school. It was like middle school. 6th, 7th, 8th grade, middle school. So the guy became pretty cool, pretty popular in the school or whatever, you know. Started getting a lot of females. Me, you know, I don't get jealous of no stuff like that. There's a lot of people get jealous, but you know, my thing is, if the girl like him, that's what she chose. You know what I mean? And that what she like. Why, like, you can't alter something that somebody have inside of them because it's not gonna make you any better. I just want to get out my chest. It ain't gonna make the situation better for you. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? So this guy, he was a very problem child. You know what I'm saying? It started off cool, you know what I mean? So I didn't understand why it started off a little cool, but then I started to get it as it started to roll on. Because he used to tell me stuff like, Man, this my fourth, fifth school. Fourth, fifth school. He like, yeah, he used to tell me stuff like, yeah, my dad he bounced around from job to job. But it came out that it was because of him, his dad had to bounce around and get new different jobs in different areas because of his behavior. And he had everything he wanted at home. He was one of these kids that he had everything at home. You know what I'm saying? Like he ate his meal 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? He even had snacks in between. You know, he was one of those type of kids. You know, had everything, had the world at his feet. You know, to be honest. You know, the guy was his stepdad. His stepdad was so nice to him. You know, you see, he had to change up jobs every time and do all this and same thing. And the reason why I'm telling y'all this story because it's kind of the same pattern of what I heard like from Mo3 situation with his mom. You know what I mean? This guy just didn't seem to understand that he was hurting a lot of people around him. You know what I mean? He had everything at his feet, had everything in his hand, and he was hurting people around him. You know? He was just a problem. He just never got it. He just never understood the situation. Want to go work out? Want to continue to move 3. So he never understood his situation. He never understood how good he had it. Which a lot of kids are like that. So a lot of kids grew up like that. You know. Me on the other hand, I grew up 13 other siblings. The youngest, 14. We probably ate 1 meal a day. After that, well, you gotta find something on your own. Or hunt your own food. Whatever you gotta do. Ain't no knock on my parents, cause they did all they can for 14, and to me they did well. They did great. To me, they took care of other people's situations too. So ain't no knock on my parents. But it's not about me. Right now it's about this workout and this King Von and Moe3 situation. So, all right, me, I'm not saying, I'm not just trying to take up for Rain in the situation, but I can understand where he may be coming from with some of his things because I'm a school guy, I got degrees, you know what I mean, diplomas and stuff like that. And my thing is, just gonna hit on this situation like just a little bit. My thing is a lot of people, and I want people to understand this, it's not about no tough or none of that. It's not about no knock on nobody situations. It's not a knock on nothing. I'm just gonna explain stuff in ordinary sequence. It's just the way of the world. Okay. You got most guys that are street, probably without an education really, majority of the time. They really probably only understand street ethics. You know what I mean? They probably can't adapt to the outside world. They so great at street things that it doesn't matter to them if they go behind the walls because it's equivalent. It really about ain't no different from being in the streets for real. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier for them to live behind bars than somebody who got an education, well put together. You know what I'm saying? Understand a free thought mind. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. Because if these guys go behind the bars as who they are, criminals, which I'm not gonna say criminal because school guys could be criminals too, so that's not the way I'm gonna put it. We just gonna stick to the street, right? Let's just say the street way of thinking. So if these guys go behind bars with the street way of thinking, they right at home. You know what I'm saying? So that it's not gonna limit them at all. And plus they get 3 meals a day. You feel what I'm saying? These guys get 3 meals a day, which it might not be ordinary to a lot of street guys. You know what I'm saying? So they get 3 meals a day. They grounded. They ain't got to do nothing. Majority of these guys don't like working. They don't want to have no job. So they really ain't got to have no job for real. Probably folding clothes or something. You know what I mean? That ain't it right down their alley. And then they playing a wild game in the inside. The same thing what they'll be doing it on the street. Because most of them probably in gangs. So you probably have to be in the gang to be behind there. So they comfortable. It's a home away from home for them. But for guys with, in a different setting, like someone like me, or probably somebody like Rain, who got an education about themselves, that think a whole lot differently, you know what I mean? To me, that's a knock, that's a downfall, you know what I mean? And that made other people happy about that situation. Those guys are feasting, they happy about that situation. You know what I mean? Majority of the guys, they feel good about that because in their mind, somehow, some way, they probably thought that, they thought they were better than us, but it wasn't about that. It's about reaching a certain level, attaining certain goals, you know what I mean? And want to prevail in life on a positive note, don't want to be known for that type of stuff. Because being destructive is easy to do. A lot of people don't want to admit that, but being destructive is very easy to do, But being constructive and actually giving society something different, that's hard to a lot of people. They don't want to do that, Everybody don't want to follow suit. The smart dumb. I hate to put it like that, but that's the only way I can. That's the only way I can put it, with the smart dummy or whatever. You know what I mean? So let's just say if that type of society, the pen or jail, whatever you want, if it was in the inverse, you know what I mean? Let's just say if you you go behind the wall and you being punished being the type of people that we are, they wouldn't feel comfortable in that environment. You know what I mean? But these guys, they get a chance to leave on that note. They come in on their bad terms, but they get to reach to our level to leave on a good note. That's how they get released to get to our level. But if we go in on our level and we go in and everybody else on a different level, we get deprived of who we are, and we get downgraded to their level. So what gonna get us to, so how would we leave? You see what I'm saying? If they get to leave coming up to our level, and we are already at that type of level, do you understand what I'm saying? It don't make any sense. You know what I mean? So with my thing with Rain's situation and me seeing a video is of what Mo said about him being scary or all this type of, it don't have anything to do with being scary. You know what I mean? It's just knowing the situation. It's just knowing what's in hand. You know what I mean? Knowing if you do this, you won't be able to accomplish this because you won't be out to do that, or you won't be. They don't think of it that way because they comfortable. They going in. They in their comfort zone, going into their comfort zone. So they looking at it like, oh, buddy's scared. Da, da, da. Nah, he ain't scared. it ain't that he's scary. It's just that he's just not like you. You don't want to accept that y'all way different. This man went to school, got an education. His mind is stimulated different. He have elevated, and then he got to go in there with a bunch of wolves. You know what I mean? Who think on the same level and ain't gonna understand none of his terminology. Even though he might be right, he can help you out. He can upgrade y'all, but you won't see that at the time. You know what I mean? You won't see that. He'll be in there doing dumb smart chores. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Because this guy got more power than him than, you know what I mean? I see it all the time. I'm just being honest. But it ain't that he's scared. Because you got a lot of school guys, if they ain't got to worry about your homeboys gang banging them and doing all that right there, and you bringing your pistol and all that type of stuff, a lot of these school guys, they catch you around the corner with no camera, and you know what I'm saying, you don't hear they'll beat you to death. Just being honest with you. You know, no camera, no witnesses, no nothing. You know what I mean? Knowing that he ain't gonna get in no trouble, and he ain't gotta go behind no ball, he'll beat you to death real quick and walk out like nothing never happened. And you'll remember that, and you'll be like, oh, okay, you know what? I ain't messing with the school boy. Just being honest. But we're gonna get back to the Moe3 situation in a second. Well, I left off. Push it. I'm trying hard not to touch on it. Don't touch on it. Don't touch on it. Wi-Fi still from. It's messed up. Okay. Moe3 situation. Okay. All right. My thing is, the way I look at clues is a lot different from a lot of other people. The way I listen, right? No offense. My thing is, Rain, there's no offense. I don't think you have anything to do with it, as in what you had to do for yourself, and this is all alleged. See, the main thing, it's not a lot that I listen to, but because a lot of it just go in one ear and out the other ear, like people say. Listen to nothing, believe half of what you see. And Rain had told us, which I believe to be true, this statement. Mo had already been up under 2 millionaires who couldn't deal with him. See, but I dealt with people like this before, and I understand these type of people. They're very talented, but if you don't know these type of behavior, if you don't know these type of people, that'll be hard to deal with. They only look up and they only listen to certain type of people. You know what I mean? And they're just being honest. So that's 2 strikes already. You see what I mean? That's 2 strikes or more. Because I'm not gonna count his childhood, because to me, his childhood don't count with these 2 strikes here, with him being in the industry. You know what I mean? But his childhood do count when it comes to these behaviors being repetitive. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna look at his childhood and say that, oh, okay, this cycle may not have been broken because he did it again with the higher ups who don't know the hood like that. They don't know the behavior that you bring into them. They don't know the lingo. So if you say something dumb out the way, they're gonna take it for what it is. You know what I mean? When people be like, yo, fool, what's up, fool? Fool. You know, stuff like that, all that, you know what I mean? You're doing all that type of stuff. And then some people like, oh, I know how to speak. You know, I know how to speak when I'm in front of them. Bro, they watch everything. I ain't know how to speak when you get in front of them. Because when you get in front of them, you probably sound just as stupid, because the way they listening to you, the same way they listening to you when you what's up, fool, and all that old crazy stuff. I don't care how cool you try to be. What's up, fool, and how you approach nobody. That's the same type of energy. You know how when people say, how people want to play fight with you when they get drunk, or when they get drunk, they say this stuff that they mean and all that right here. What's up, fool, is one of those same things you have to watch out for. Who would come up with what's up, fool? Calling each other out their name, all that type of stuff, and say that's how we rock. Ain't how we rock. Cause those are real. See, what people don't understand, those are real fighting words. You know what I mean? Those are definitely real fighting words. I'm gonna be honest with you. Stuff like that is fighting words, yo. To any culture. In some way how you play, in some ways how you don't play. You know what I mean? I'm trying to dance around it, but I think I'm gonna have to let it out. Let me do one more exercise. I'm gonna have to get on the rain situation. I ain't nothing against the rain, but I'm gonna have to get on the situation. And I ain't gonna speak no more about none of this after this video. I'll be on to something else. Hit her in the wozer hole. Hit her in the wozer hole. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna do one more. Talk about it. Help me, mommy. We're gonna talk about it. It's all legend. I don't see it a way to be proven. Just gonna say it's my opinion, and it's all legend. Which, hey, we're gonna speak on it. speak on it. All right. It's not this one. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. I ain't gonna hit on the rain situation yet. I'm gonna touch on these. All right. As we all know, Mo partners got took out in the process. And I'm gonna say the same thing like King Von situation. How King Von did things out of the process, out of the order of operation. Mo had kind of like the same mindset. You know what I mean? The same sensitivity level. You know what I mean? Sensitive to the point where if you said something, he had to backfire. So he wasn't holding nothing in. These guys got the bread, had the money. So they feel like they got the power. Instead of them listening to the higher power, they went and did things in their own power. They didn't understand that they didn't have the power of the say so to do their own thing, as in that aspect. So you're gonna get punished. And they got more than the tap. Alright. So that's just like with King Von, he had loyal people beside him when I told you about the guy that hit Tim. Same thing, allegedly. Same thing with Mo. He had a couple guys, had the same loyalty. And Mo probably never did none of these jobs for real himself. He probably didn't really. That's allegedly. I don't know for sure. But we do know the accident what happened between Trap and Beezy. You know what I'm saying? So Trap and Beezy got hit up. Then to me, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, Mo probably was in the area. You know what I'm saying? I think Mo was in the area, but I don't think he was the one, you know, who did the deed. So those are my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say allegedly. So I'm gonna say the guys who was his right hand man, hit guys who got hit up and got taken out, they got hit up and taken out for a reason. Because these people know that these guys did the job. You know what I'm saying? But then I ain't gonna say he was the last man standing because I'm gonna tap on this part too. I'm not gonna say he was the last man standing. Oh, I still got pushes. Okay, I ain't gonna say he was the last man standing because he also did a video with some guys who was on the sofa with him on someone's platform. You probably go back and check that. You guys probably don't see him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too many of these people's name and all that stuff, you know. Usually when I see stuff, I just see it and go. I just remember forever. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch too much stuff, really, for real. But I seen it. You know what I'm saying? He was with the guys from the north side. So these is guys that he deal with on a day-to-day basis, that he keep around him. So this is my thing. Now, I'm gonna say alleged because I feel like, okay, I'm gonna get to that part later. Because I'm gonna say that for a different. Okay, cause that go in with another story. True. All right, so let's just say, uh, with these guys got hit up with their cousins and all that, that just took them out of the picture. You know what I mean? That took them out of the picture for when he wanted to just do things out of spite because of his feeling. You know what I mean? Because they was down with it too. They was with the dum-dum. Dang, you know what I'm saying? Probably guys that came up like him, you know what I'm saying? Who didn't have nothing to live for. He was just toking his thing, ready for somebody to pick him up, you know what I'm saying? Put him in the car and do his thing. Which another knock on him, because he said that in the interview. He was with those guys, but I'm gonna tell y'all another story that come with them guys. But he was with those guys when he said that. And that was a bad move to tell somebody that you ain't not looking for a job. You know what I mean? Even though he became a star in this right, made a lot of money. But I wouldn't tell nobody that I was walking with my thing, looking for some work, for OG to pick me up and put some work in. You know what I'm saying? They don't look good to the higher up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just put an image in somebody's head, like, you'll do anything, bro. You know what I'm saying? You like, bro, you don't need a couple dollars and that's it. You know what I mean? You crashing out. You know what I mean? And you kept this same mindset. That's a knock on yourself. See, people don't understand the type of stuff that they do to themselves. A lot of people find this stuff fascinating. A lot of people like, oh man, Mo was a real such. That's a dummy move. You know what I'm saying? That's a real dummy move. You know what I mean? But I gotta catch up with the exercise. I'm gonna knock out this what you calling, and I'm gonna give y'all some interesting part. But I think I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna get into the hard part. I'm trying to linger around this situation, but I would have to tell it like I feel it. So I got these. Got one more set after this one. It. Alright. Hit y'all with a good part right here. Okay. Moe3 situation. Alright. Honestly, I could be wrong. This is all alleged. But this is how I feel. Right? And this is where it stemmed from. All from that situation with Rain saying the 2 strikes with the millionaires. Rain was the 3rd strike. So once he effed up with Rain, he was done. Right? So the first incident when he messed up, from what I seen, he probably messed up a long time before that. Cause I really didn't know him. I'm just going by what I seen. The first incident, when they blackballed him, and he started putting out his own stuff on YouTube, right? He went viral on YouTube. That means he probably breached the contract. He messed up with a contract. Probably didn't read the contract, but Rain probably knew what was in the contract because that's his manager, right? So he probably messed up right there. boom, messing with the high power. They ain't having that. Because for one, once one person get away with it, everybody gonna follow suit. And you ain't finna make them look bad anyway. It ain't going on like that. So he messed up right now. He probably thought it was all good, but he messed up right on. Boom. Right? So he already had bought himself out of a contract. They didn't know he really had money like that. They were hoping he didn't have money to buy himself out of a contract like that. They thought he was the ultimate dummy, but he was a money dummy. That pissed him off, that he had money to buy himself out of the contract. That went along with the third strike. You know what I'm saying? These ain't even strikes. These right here, you just pissing them off. You just pissing them off even more for them to apprehend you and just do what they need to do to you. You know what I mean? So, and that part. And then, what he said about rain. Why would you say that about a person? I don't give a care. Look, I don't care if a man ever fought nobody a day in his life. That's just something you don't say about a person, about your partner out in public. I would never embarrass nobody. You ain't even got to be close to me. I would embarrass nobody that I know in front of the whole world like that. That's, people can say what they want to say. They can say, oh, that man didn't feel no type of way or none of that, all that. Man, that's just something you just don't do. And the truth is, he can't be no punk if he hanging around you and he did something what a lot of people can't do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can deal with Moe3, man. You feel what I'm saying? So how he gonna be scary? Or how he gonna be a punk? Or whatever, whatnot. That man took risks to take you on the road. I ain't trying to take up for the man. I'm just saying what it is. This man managed you. That man took risks to go places where they know they wouldn't accept you. He was in the line of fire with you. The same thing I said about Dirt with the King Von situation. You brought him. He came with you. You know what I'm saying? So he put himself at risk. Also, can't be too much of a scary punk. You know what I'm saying? That's something you just don't do, dog. Dog, people don't understand. People like this put themselves in those type of situations. Why would you say that? It don't make no sense to say nothing like that. Unless you were jealous of him too. They might could have been jealous of each other, but that's just something you don't say open. And we ain't even know Rain at the time. So if Rain was doing stuff behind their back or whatever, it went in the public eye. He ain't said it to the world. It become messed up when you say something to the world about somebody. That was Rain's first impression to the world, that he was scared. He introduced him as, this is my manager. We've been doing a great job, going on the road. We'll do this. However they say, I don't even hit that stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's what they do. When they say that stuff like that right there, why you ain't say all that? See, a lot of people going off what Rain been saying, but why he couldn't introduce Rain to the world in that form instead of, oh man, that's my manager, he's scary, he down with that, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. That was crazy off rip. But, all right. I just had to put that out there. So, I'm gonna put the real situation in hand. All right, this is a legend. And everybody got their own theory, their own opinion about stuff. And I could be wrong. But the information that I received, the real information that I intel, that came from the guys and the stuff that I whipped it out. Y'all don't go crazy and want to hurt me for this. But I don't think Moe3 was deceased here Dallas, in this state. I really believe that. See, now I'm about to go back to him with the guys on the couch. See, everybody thinking about him in the HSM game. Those are business associates, business partners. Those ain't gonna be the guys that he trusts on a day-to-day basis like that. Let me tell you why. I hate to say it like this. I feel like that's where Rain get his method from in that sense. Rain is a smart guy, don't get me wrong, but this is where he get his method from in that sense when he say that he don't like people who got money already. You know what I'm saying? The people who Moe3 had around him on that couch, they didn't have money. If you go back and listen to that interview, the guy beside Moe3, he said that when Moe3 said he was just trying to pay $20 or get somebody to get him $20 to get in the studio, the guy beside him said this, he said, man, that's what I'm going through right now. How you going through that right now and you got Moe3 sitting right beside this your pop? So Moe3 had a lot of broke guys around him, so he had a lot of yes man where he could dish out some money to do him, you know what I'm saying? So back to this situation, right? All right, we're gonna go back to this situation. I listened very well. And I could be wrong about this situation because that could have made these guys turn on him too. You know what I'm saying? It could have went either way. That could have made these guys turn on him because they probably looking at the situation too like, man, you got all that money, man. And we just trying to, you know what I'm saying? You could let her, you know what I'm saying? You know, whatever. It could have happened that way. But I'm telling my story my way. So, all right. With that being said, with that situation, when we go back to the sisters, right? Miss Cleo, or whatever her name, she looks like she's kin to him. He asked me. They all kind of look alike. She kind of looked like him. So they say that she was turned on to him by them. To me, they're relatives. They're cousins or something. I could tell. I could look and tell that they some kin to each other. So they didn't have anything to do with this situation. They didn't have anything to do with the situation. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I only heard one thing that made me understood where all this derived from. When they was asking Rain to clear their name. There's no other way for nobody to clear your name unless you ain't have nothing to do with this at all. Unless he never showed up at your doorstep. He never showed up at your doorstep. You would even in sync with what they told you, the time. You know what I'm saying? You can even function right to tell the right time. You know what I'm saying? He was never there. On that date, he was never there. To me, he was never there. Okay, so, right, boom. Before all this, right, they saying that she was calling. There's no proof that she was calling him, trying to get him to come back. He is not no dummy to this point. I know he should be way smarter than this. If a person is consistently calling you, and then the thing that you run into over there, they're gonna let you know that something is up. You know what I'm saying? So you run into the situation that they said that you had beforehand while you were still over there at the other state, right? They say you figured out something was up. You had this argument. You told what you got this, did all this right here. And this person keep calling you. Why would this person keep calling you and you had all this going on over here and you not suspect something is up? So even if he did go over there, these guys would be in play. He's smart enough to bring his jit with him. They gonna be sitting with him, bro. They gonna be there. his crew, the North crew that he had on that sofa, it wouldn't be the HSM guys that would have went with him. Why would it be HSM guys go with him if he had a problem with his partner before he left? He's not that stupid. He gonna take the guys who ain't got nothing, who he can, cause these guys ain't in with them. You gotta see what people gotta understand. The crew that he had in on the sofa, they don't mess with them guys at HSM like what you call them. You see what I'm saying? Like they probably barely know each other. For real, for real. You see what I mean? Like, why would he mess with some guy that could go back to his manager and tell his manager what's up for real, for real? If they had that type of argument. If they had the argument saying that he finna get rid of her. So we're gonna go back to that point. To the get rid of her point. Why would I let you leave and put me in a bad situation? Think about the Kodak situation. I put you in that position, and this is how you repay me. You know what I'm saying? Now we ain't being loyal to each other now. Again, you think you gonna just leave me with nothing? You think I'm finna leave here a crackhead? Smoking crack or something? You know what I'm saying? You think you finna have me down on all fours? Reminiscing about what we could've or what could've, and you laughing at me and you already don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even about that. That's all the thing that probably went through his head, but it wasn't his call. It's higher than that. See, my thing is that it was both of y'all. It's either both of y'all or you go through with this. It's either him or both of y'all. Because he was going anyway. At the end of the day, he was out anyway. You know what I mean? He was out. So, if you want to say no to this, and you want to be that loyal to him, then it's both of y'all. Or you can do this, do this, do this, come up with your plan real quick. See, it was on the swivel. That's why nothing made no sense to nobody. Because it was playing on the swivel. You know what I'm saying? It happened a couple of days earlier. And to me, allegedly, the part that really gave it up, I don't know who live. I was looking at somebody live. I don't know. I can't just call them up because everybody got a different name. You know what I mean? Some people call themselves journalists, and you know, some people call themselves something else. But I don't know who live he was on. But there was a guy who came up from Cali, from the sack town. To me, he just told on himself, told on the whole situation. And I'm gonna tell you how he told on himself. We're gonna go even more in depth. This is how he told on himself to me. He came on around about the same time they played that little clip. See, people forget about stuff like this. I clip everything in together, allegedly. He came on the same time that they played that little clip with Boosie in his like little video shoot thing. And I still ain't seen the full song video. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm coming from? And that little clip where the guy shot. When the thing was going off, the guys they were toking, you know what I'm saying? You know, they was doing their little thing, boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Doing their little thing. And then somebody, you know what I'm saying, the crowd. To me, I feel like it was a mockery of Moe3. That's how he really got hit out in sack time. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how he got hit in sack time. I think it was a mockery of Moe3 how he really got hit. Because why would they do that? You feel me? It didn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know if you blast those things like that right there, you might as well hit something. Why would they, you know what I'm saying? And not hit them. Come on, bro. You know, if they wanted to, they would have. You know, there's a lot of clips that ain't been shown. That's why a lot of stuff didn't make no sense. That's why a lot of stuff don't add up. Because to me, it never happened. It never happened. Not on the highway. It probably happened, but it didn't happen to him. That's how I see it. That's my opinion. You know? It didn't happen here. It just didn't. It don't match up. It's the same guy they said who shot back don't match up. If somebody spraying one of those, look, I've been in a house that got shot up by K's. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the house. You know what I mean? I know what they could do. You feel me? I know what they ripped through. There was not even a scratch on the semi behind the car. You telling me not one hit the semi? Come on, man. Man. I'm just, you know, I ain't trying to talk too much. Probably don't said a lot already, but I ain't trying to talk too much. Knock out this last set. We'll finish it up. But I couldn't fault the man. I don't think nobody in their right mind can really fault Rain for his position. You know what I'm saying? It's another one of those things that, you know, he came with you situation. You know? Okay. To me, it ain't, you know, I feel like it can't be proven, so ain't no need to be mad at me. I don't think none of this stuff be proven. I just think innocent people should not go to prison or jail for no stuff like this either. You know what I'm saying? Feel me? So, just because that was the movie, that was the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, the play was the movie. Like, it didn't happen. So, allegedly. But I don't know nobody who wouldn't made that decision. Somebody gotta let us tell the story. Remember, that's what we used to say as a kid. Both of us can't go. Somebody gotta live to tell the story. We used to say that as kids. Right now, they say, you gonna go with them or you? Somebody gotta live to tell the story. That's what you used to say as a kid. It ain't no laughing matter. It ain't funny. Don't get me wrong. I'm just laughing out of humor of myself. But you can't blame man. Can't blame him. Because just like to me, like Lil Durk situation, I don't think that Rain didn't try to get him to understand. I'm gonna be honest, that's what I think. I think these guys tried their best to get these guys to understand. And a lot of them feelings got in the way. Because we sit here and we wanna say that, oh, these people here were lined up, that person did. They all play the same game, bro. It just depends on the choices that you make, man. You have the choice to determine the outcome of your life yourself. It's about the choices you make. A lot of these people biting the hand that feed them, man. You know what I'm saying? They're making the wrong type of choices. You gotta understand what you're getting yourself into. Contract, son. And a lot of them kind of do understand. And a lot of people saying that. A lot of people say something like the expression on these guys' face tell it all. Like, oh, they knew they was in trouble. Yeah, they probably knew they was in trouble. They knew they was in trouble from what they did, the thing that stemmed from what they did to have that expression, to know that they was in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew one day it was gonna come back to get them because they did the wrong thing. A lot of them guys said it. Like, if you look at King Von's situation, he said it one time in his video, but it may not have, it might probably in contrast to something different, but he said it from something in a different scenery. You know, like when, I think I seen one of his songs, Took It Back to the Old. I think when the guy busted his window and, you know, he had broke the code, that probably stemmed from what happened in the A. He probably just rapping about another scene. The guy knew he probably had broke the code. He knew he had messed up. He was out of order. You know what I'm saying? See, I used to rap too. I know how to switch, you know what I mean? I know how to give stuff a different meaning and different scenario. You know what I'm saying? So really, you do it to tell a story, for the bread. It ain't offensive toward nobody or nothing. A lot of people take things the wrong way and they don't know how to put things in the right perspective. They might take it as, oh, he said this about it. You know, nah, man, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But some of the stuff these guys rap these days be something serious about a different situation sometimes. Like they probably really did it, but it happened here or did it in a different form. You know what I'm saying? Broke code. Now they gotta break you. And if you don't show no improvement, your rap sheet show that you steady on the bull. And you ain't showing no improvement when you're in your late 20s. And you about over it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you probably never gonna get it. The higher ups, their patience are very short, man. The people in the hood, they got plenty of patience because they on the same stuff. Probably in their mid-30s, going on 40s. Probably won't be on it forever. So they got all the patience in the world because they understand not going nowhere real fast. You know what I'm saying? But that's different from the person who cutting your paycheck. That's what we all forget about. They been gone. They never even experienced nothing what you done, really, like you did. They grew up with the paycheck. The paycheck was on a birth certificate. You forget. You gotta understand what's going on around you. That's what people forget. A lot of people get their feelings mixed up in the wrong type of stuff. Oh, they ain't have to do such. All you gotta go through the same thing. You trick yourself off the street, man. I had people that, you know, I call my brothers, homeboy growing up. Kind of the same situation. I had a homeboy like that. They can never really figure him out. He was always getting away with a lot of stuff. Hard to touch on. You know what I'm saying? Pissing off a lot of people, higher ups. You know, and I think one day, me honestly, I just feel like they signed him up with an undercover hood agent. You know what I'm saying? Backstabbing, which he probably should never did no work with him. But I'm not condoning it because I don't condone nobody stealing from nobody, no stuff like that, because that ain't never been a part of me. And this a part I never knew of my homeboy. The same thing like other people didn't know. I never knew that of him. You know what I'm saying? When me and him had conversations and stuff, it was just ordinary. You know what I'm saying? Like my closest partner, we used to rap together. He the one that really introduced me to the equipment and all. You know what I'm saying? I used to do a lot of stuff on my own, just bebopping,
rapping. But he had equipment. He introduced me to the rap scene, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, that's my pop. But I never knew he was doing that other type of stuff. I didn't know until it came across my page on Facebook one day. Everybody else knew, you know, because me and my homeboy, we don't talk about stuff like that. And if something did happen, we don't come together and tell each other. We don't want each other. We don't want each other part of that. So we have to put ourselves in a situation to snitch or tell on each other, nothing like that. That's the type of respect me and my homeboys had growing up. If they did something, I did something. They did, you know, you did it by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Unless we were going somewhere to protect each other, or we were, you know what I'm saying, with each other, or something like that. You know what I mean? That's different. But all the other stuff, and that just like with female, we ain't hit females together. We ain't do, to us that was, you know, that was something else to us. I'm not going to hit on that because I rock with those type of people because I think those type of people are funny, especially the ones in the A. I used to do Uber. When people are funny, don't get me wrong. But to me, to us, that was kind of like on that level with us. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't doing no type of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I got my chick, you got your chick. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll do stuff like you can go hit this chick in my room. You know what I'm saying? That type of, that how we will. You know what I'm saying? If your mama don't allow that at your house, hey, mama, hey, let me hit my mom. Hey, mama, man, let my homeboy in my room, man. You know what I'm saying? Let him, you know what I mean? That how me and my homeboy was, you know, really, we was tight. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Well, I don't know. We ain't really, honestly, we ain't have no jealousy in our crew or nothing like that. No crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't have nothing like that. And we were the type of people that show our homeboys up and that. That stuff crazy to me. You know what I mean? That stuff crazy to us. Like if you gonna put your homeboys on, you gonna put them on. We ain't hitting our homeboys up on no Facebook, on no social media, trying to show them up and, hey man, I got y'all on this and all this. We ain't doing that, man. Ain't nobody doing that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna put you so you can have your own bag, you can spend your own bag. See, that one thing about our crew, we trying to get you to have your own bag so you can spend your own bag how you want to spend it. You know what I'm saying? Because to us, everybody was a leader in our group. We was all leaders. We all had great ideas. You know what I'm saying? We all can go off on our own and do our own thing and come back and still be a group. You know, be tight as ever. You know what I'm saying? We're not about to hit each other up, be like, hey yo man, come to the fruit truck. I'm buying all y'all fruits. Get every fruit you want. Nah, man. It was like, to us, it was like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Who you went to pick watermelons with? I'm just gonna use that. Who you went to pick watermelons with today, man? I need to get on so I can get me a bag. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Hey man, yeah, we making 150, 200. Come get this bag, bro. And then we going together. You spend your own money, I spend my own money. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no, oh, I'm buying all the cars and, you know, I'm stunting on everybody and, oh, you can hold the keys to the car today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hold the car for the day, you know what I'm saying? Go grab the key. Nah, man, nah, you get your own car. Like, bro, you get this bag, you can get your, you know what I'm saying? We all riding on rims or whatever, or whatnot. We all riding in Mustang. You know what I'm saying? Nah, who car you riding in? Not my, you riding your own car. We all got, you know what I'm saying? He might got a Mustang, he might got a Audi, he might got a Lexus. What, you know what I'm saying? He get his own thing. You got your own taste. That type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because all the other stuff bring about jealousy. And that's another thing that could have got Moe3. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to control the situation. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you letting a person get in their own bag. And I think that's what Rand was trying to tell him too, you know what I mean? open up the gates so people could get their own bags instead of you trying to get on what you want them to have. People ain't open-minded to stuff like that, and they should not be. Like, you can't make that's the wrong way to treat people, the wrong way to make choices. You need for people to make their own mistakes, man. Or it ain't got to be mistake. Make their own greatness. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be mistake, bro. What we had on this last sit? I don't know. I guess since I don't know, I'm gonna start over. The last sit. Here in the Roser hole. But yeah. Can't put it on him. Put it on yourself. It's about the decision you make for yourself. Oneself. I did miss some stuff. I hadn't meant to hit on Moe3 situation about his fiance situation. See, that's another thing that is not believable to me. Like, why would you go get your baby mama card and go to this person's house when you're trying to rekindle that situation and you're trying to get in good? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make any sense. It don't make no sense to keep messing up when you're trying to rekindle that situation. See, that's beyond 3 strikes. That give the higher up even more reason to believe that you'll never change, that you'll never understand. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you keep putting yourself in that type of situation? That he doing it to himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if that stuff did go down that way, and the boy did hit him up and be like, you know what I'm saying? Rain, boss man, could have been like, see, told you. You know what I mean? He probably could have been scratching his head looking at Rain like, fuck both of y'all up, because you lied to me. Rain was like, look, I can't handle him. He a grown man, you know what I'm saying? I tried. Did all I could. I tried to shove it in his head. I tried to knee him in the head with it. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Somebody gotta live to tell the story. That's all I'm saying. And it ain't always the fault that people think it is. A lot of people just sensitive and feel sorry for the wrong type of stuff. Where we at? Push-ups. Knock this 50 out so we have these 200. Off of 10 hours of work. Off of 10 hours of work. Get these duns in. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's my take on the King Von and the Moe3 mistake. But yeah, they did it to themselves, man. You know? You can't, you just can't say like these guys came in as a sacrifice or whatever. These guys took the wrong steps to make themselves be sacrificed. There's a lot of people could be sacrificed. There's a lot of people that got the same numbers. You know? There's a lot of people could be put into that role. They could have switched those numbers and made a name for a different artist if they wanted to. If that artist was messing up. You know? You don't know? They did it to themselves. Feel like doing some more push-ups for me. I'm gonna do some more. All right, guys. Oh yeah. I'm at the hour mark. At the hour mark over here. And that's my take. Now I'll see what my numbers at in the morning. I missed them alive one time before. You guys feel free to leave comments
If you feel otherwise, we can converse back and forth about your take, my take. All this is alleged and for educational purposes. Even a workout, educational purpose. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys next time.